3 ways to feel more connected to your life. Concept 1 is light as a feather. What I mean by that is if you're struggling with something that feels really deep, feels dark, feels heavy, I want you to take that item and to make its weight as light as a feather. You have the power to change the energetics around the things that you're dealing with. It can be easy. That's not to say that it will immediately feel easy, because there are really hard things we experience in life. However, you always have a choice to embody the version of you that you want to be. You always have the choice to make things as light as a feather. The only thing that you ever have control of is the way that you move forward, is the way that you react, is the way that you behave. What this does is it helps them to feel a little bit softer, even if there are multiple feathers floating around, right? It allows you this sense of power that sometimes you feel a lack of if you're allowing it to have such a heavy embodied weight inside. You can change the energetics around the things that you are experiencing. You have to practice that you have the capability to do this. And I know it's practice and it's not always easy, but you do have the power. Number 2, and this is probably the most impactful, is that I will be there for myself no matter what. We live in a culture that constantly outsources almost everything that we do and feel and are to something outside of ourselves, someone outside of ourselves. So, for example, often we outsource things like our worthiness, our definition of our own beauty. What looks like success to us isn't even our own version of success. What looks like play and fun to us sometimes isn't even our own version of that. It's often reiterated that you don't have the authority to decide what is best for you, what works for you, what your life should look like. We are constantly swimming in the seas of capitalism and other isms that tell you that you have to look outside yourself to be okay, and that's just simply not true. There's a caveat here, because you don't want it to go too far, like I did for many years, and say, well, that also means that nobody can be there for me. I don't want to count on anybody at all. I don't want to call on anybody for help. That's also not true. There will be people, wonderful, good people in your life that will stand by your side and take care of you. There will be people that will love you even through the parts of yourself that you can't quite love yet. And ultimately, this has to live alongside the fact that you will be there for you at the end of the day. Because if you are outsourcing even that to somebody else for your partner to constantly be there for you, a parent, a sibling, a friend, you haven't practiced the ability to be there for yourself. If you're going through something hard and your identity is tied up in your partner, you've now lost an identity, and that is going to be really, really tough to bounce back from. So practicing the art of knowing through really uncomfortable situations in life, I'm here for myself and I'm going to show up as the most aligned version of myself, because I can't outsource that to somebody else. And last but not least, there is no dress rehearsal. This is it. You're not waiting to go on stage. You've been on. I think I actually heard this from somebody in CrossFit one time. I was constantly internally in the waiting room. I was constantly sitting there dissociating from everything. There was constantly a distance from what was happening in front of me, either living in the past or trying to look forward to a future that wasn't even there yet. The learning, the growth happens in the in-between moments that you think are the waiting room, when actually you're already on stage doing the damn thing. Come to find out, the audience that you've been performing for, every single one of them was just you anyways. Sometimes in the background, there's always this sense of fleeting presence that we're trying to get away from feeling the thing in the moment. It's always a focus on something that I can do differently, some way that I can be growing in order to get to the place to where I never have to feel the thing that I'm currently feeling. I missed the whole point yet again. I'm spiritually or otherwise bypassing exactly what life and the universe is asking me to do. By constantly living in this passive state of I need to go back there or I need to get to a certain place, I'm avoiding what I'm calling the waiting room, which is actually just the stage, and I'm avoiding feeling it now so that I don't have to feel it in the future. Doing the work right now, being here right now, enjoying these mundane or not mundane things right now and knowing that this is it. This is the life. Somewhere along the way, the choices that I made got me right here, and I need to pay attention to it. And if I don't, I'll just continue this cycle of making unconscious choices to get to a place where I've been unconscious and I realize that I've never actually lived my life. As always, there's a side note. A lot of these topics are a lot more difficult to actually embody in your life than they are to sit here and chit chat about. I have been through this for a very long time, and I hope that you can have, I get a little teary every time I talk about this. I hope that you can have so much grace and love for yourself through these processes. And if you can't, find somebody that can help you do that, because this is not always an easy thing to do. Sending you so much love.